Asus have sponsored us to come to Birmingham DreamHack to set a lap time for the locals here at DreamHack to try and beat on an epic Visaro motion simulator. We're also going to be checking out the Asus ROG Ally Xbox X handheld gaming device, as well as some rather fancy mixed reality headsets which allow you to play your games whilst you're walking about. It's the future, I tell you.
Are you a ROG fan in the UK? Well, if you are, click the link in the video description to find out how you could win a trip to Taiwan. Celebrating 20 years of PC gaming, esports, overclocking and high-end hardware. The competition ends on the 12th of April 2026 at midnight. Sip your tea and click that link before the time runs out. Imagine inviting me, of all people, a boiled egg with the pace of a lost snail to set a lap time at a trade show for people to beat. Fortunately for Asus, they were only given a prize to the fastest time of the entire weekend, not just people that beat my time. Otherwise, they probably would have run out of monitors to give away. Having said that though, we had to give it our best shot and put down as good a challenge as possible, and I have to say we did a reasonable job, a much better job at setting a lap time than apparently setting the exposure values of our camera. I severely underestimated the brightness of these Asus 4K OLED screens. That's a lesson for the next trade show that we go to. Squint and you can just about make out the beautiful Brands Hatch in iRacing driving the new Porsche Cup car, a car that I've not really driven at all. Fortunately, Visaro had set their rig up really nicely with the housing valve pedals, nice direct drive wheel, not too stiff, not too soft, and I was able to get into the iRacing hot lap zone relatively quickly. Now I have to mention this because I know you guys in the comments will mention it otherwise. No, I'm not wearing the seatbelts. Yes, that is incredibly reckless. Who knows what could happen in a sim rig? You should always wear your seatbelt. In this case, you probably should wear your seatbelt because this rig does actually have a belt tensioner on it. Or rather, it's got a system where the belts go into a box, it's got some springs and loading on it, and then when the rig moves forwards or down, that causes the belts to tension on you. So when you brake, you do actually get quite a good seatbelt tensioner experience from this type of arrangement. But I was there to focus on the lap time and not to be safe or fully immersed. And with this being the new iRacing Porsche Cup car on a rig I wasn't completely familiar with, have I made enough excuses yet? I was having to really focus to put down a challenge. So, all said and done, after getting into the flow of things and being tormented by the optimum perfect lap time ghost, which was just harassing me, but actually made me drive a bit faster, I think, we managed to set a glorious 1 minute 25.555. Obviously, I intentionally set the 25.555 because that's a really nice rounded number, a really memorable number, and a good round target for people to try and beat. I'm that skilled that I can set lap times down to the thousandth of a second entirely intentionally. Also, I like how it says beat the pro. When Game of Muscle's the pro, you're really in trouble. But from the perspective of someone that's never used a simulator before, I guess we might potentially look somewhat pro. If you close your eyes and maybe also fell down the stairs on your way into DreamHack. And I have to say, I was quite happy with that lap time, and it turned out that it was actually a fairly decent lap time, because the only person whilst I was there on the Friday that managed to beat my time was a real-world BTCC driver, and they only beat it by 100th of a second. So obviously I'm a natural talent, and it has nothing to do with rote memorisation of racing simulators. The main thing though was this is a proper simulator at a non-sim racing trade show, and as a result there were loads of people coming on giving it a go that had never seen any sim racing, and they were genuinely interested by it. I didn't tell them how bad the hobby is and how it starts with the wheel and before you know it you've got a sim rig in your sitting room. I didn't warn them, but yeah, we might have got some more lost souls into the world of sim racing, and that's always a good thing.
Pac-Man in the jungle. Pac-Man in the jungle. Pac-Man in the jungle. You hear that?
you're going to guess the weight of the mouse. I'll let you hold the mouse for a few seconds, get a good gauge, get a good feel. There's nothing gimmicky about it. It's the actual gaming mouse, an eSports Pro mouse there. It's the Hob 2. So give you a good feel. We'll blindfold you. I'll give you then the weights that you can scale up, put it into the scale and see how close you guess the weight. There's the mouse for you.
Okay, well, it's a very light mouse, I have to say. You can tell it's an eSports mouse. Feels almost like it's made of paper. So it's for people that don't want to use their wrists too much. Right, okay.
Right, you good? Got a good feel?
I would say that's like 5 grams or something.
5 grams.
Something.
Alright, we'll see how you gauge. I'll tell you the answer after. Right, blindfold on.
And I just weigh this out in my hand.
Just best guesstimate there. How much you think it weighs?
I'm going for this, and that still feels too heavy to me, but I'm going for that.
All right.
Am I good? Can I demask?
Yeah, you can demask.
Okay, we're good.
So that's what you put in, right?
Yeah. It's going to be well off, isn't it?
I mean, there's I don't know if anyone can see that, but
okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
So you put 3 grams.
Okay.
Do you want to know the answer?
Yeah, okay.
48.1.
There you go, guys. Absolute failure at the Asus booth there. Right, guys, we've got here the ROG Ally Xbox X, and we've got running on it Batman. Oh, Batman. And it's nice and rainy in Gotham City. It's like being in London. It's dark and miserable. It's literally London City. I don't know why they pretend it's Gotham City.
Now, this is one of the more powerful handheld gaming systems out there with a 1080p screen, 120Hz refresh rate, so ideally you can play your proper fully fledged AAA titles all from your pockets, if you've got very big pockets, that is. In this case, the performance is allowing Gotham City rain to be rendered at a nice frame rate, as well as Batman's cloak wibble wobbling around. And with this having Windows support on it, you should be able to play many of the PC racing simulators on it, though sadly I didn't get a chance to try that. But what I did get a chance to do was completely destroy the Asus demo on their booth and prove that this has proper Windows support by going to the ultimate Windows application, possibly the most important Windows application and possibly the real reason why anybody would buy this device. Yes, I loaded up Microsoft Excel. Just look at all those cells, it's incredible. You could do all your accounting from your pocket, and what is more exciting than that? But joking aside, I like the idea of potentially using a device like this instead of carting a laptop around. Battery life on this would be great as well, and I can cheekily play video games instead of actually doing any work. And I have to say, with this obviously being a partnership with Xbox, the intention is that people are playing their Windows Xbox games or just Xbox games on it through streaming. But you do have the Xbox style controllers, the joypads, the ergonomics. So if you are a fan of the Xbox controller and its ergonomics, this device really fits into that same framework. So for me, I'd find this a lot easier to play games like Rocket League with, and maybe some first-person shooters that you might find with other devices that have a different controller arrangement. But of course, it's just down to your personal preference and what you're used to using. And when it comes to my personal preference, I am a bit of a Xbox gamepad simp, even going back to the original Duke controller on the original Xbox, but the Xbox 360 controller and the Xbox One controller, it's what I use on my home computer, and it's nice to have that kind of arrangement for a handheld gaming PC. Now, as a surprise for DreamHack, we had here a prototype version of the ROG XR R1 glasses. These are 240Hz 1080p screen glasses. They're not really, you wouldn't describe them as VR glasses, and not even really mixed reality glasses. I'd probably describe them as virtual display glasses, in that when you put them on, you basically get a 170-inch screen sort of projected in front of you, or it looks like it's projected in front of you, and that then allows you to watch films or play games on the go with the comfort of a big screen, and no one else can see what you're doing, so you can watch whatever you want on it. As I say, it's more of a virtual screen than a VR headset, but what you can do is have that screen positioned to some degree, follow around where you look to some degree, And then you can also choose how much of reality is let through the headset versus how much is blocked out. It has another layer in front of the lenses that controls how much shade there is on the shades. It's actually mind-boggling, the technology that's put into these. For audio, the glasses use bone conductivity from the temple, the arms of the glasses. And again, only you'll be able to hear the music or what you're doing. People around you won't be able to hear it at all. All round insane technology, even with these just being a prototype version. And these here are just plugged into the ROG Xbox Ally X with a USB-C cable. If you're going to use it on an Xbox or some other devices, they have a hub. But I think the plan is as well is that you could just plug it into a phone, for example, using just a USB cable. And again, be able to see what's on the screen, watch films, and take advantage of a very portable display. I have to say, incredible technology that seems like 90s science fiction. Definitely going to have to check them out when they launch. What a Birmingham DreamHack adventure. Thanks to Republic of Gamers for getting me outside and sponsoring this video. Thanks to everybody that got to the end of this video. Give us a fish, a teacup and a fish in the comment section if you did. But until the next one, happy tea drinking, take care and goodbye.